Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for making the time to come to today's meeting. Lisa will not be here. She is at the Partners Conference with Danielle. So we will have Michael Kelly sharing with us some of her information. Real quick, just to talk about some stuff. Jim Barry, am I using the right email for you? Did you not receive the email I sent out Monday? Jim? All right, we'll wait until Jim comes back. So, and Andrea, I'm sorry, I don't know very much about Zoom, let alone technology. So I have no idea how to troubleshoot. But what I do know is that every month our Zoom link changes to this meeting. So if you saved it to your calendar and you're using an old link, it will never work for you.
Well, I just used whatever's in the invite that came from you, and then I tried to go back and click on what Brian had sent last time because that worked, but then it was for that meeting. And then the only thing that worked is what Michael sent. So I don't have a Zoom application. I just use the web version, and I don't know what's going on.
I definitely don't know what's going on. I wish I was able to be a technologic guru and give some insight. Does anybody have any insight? So it'll just be our challenge at our meetings is all signing on, and that'll be it.
Good times. Sorry about that. I tried. I started 10 minutes early, like Lisa yelled last time, and
I can't do any of it. So, you know, I rely on other people that know what they're doing, because me and technology, we have some issues, and I have not a lot of patience and like to throw things. So, you know, but everybody else is here. We do have a quorum. We have a lot of minutes that we haven't voted on. And I know things that we need to vote on, I'm not trying to wait until the end. So I would like to start off by going through past minutes and voting on those to get that out of the way. Has everybody been able to look at the minutes and read them over the past couple of months? If not, oh, and Queeb is here too. We can give, you know, everybody like 5 minutes to breeze through those. I don't have any Jeopardy music to play, but I won't talk the whole time, I promise. Does everybody have the minutes from August, July, September, and October, so that we can talk about those? Who's talking? Queeba, good morning. So yeah, if everybody wants to take a look through and read the past minutes, we'll go, it's 9:15, so at 9:20, we will start voting on those things. And there's not a lot to actually talk about at today's meeting, especially since we haven't had enough people to do too much. But if you looked at the agenda, it's very superficial. I also don't know if you guys were able to look at the priorities that we have voted on in May, but we are a bit behind on that. So, hi, Jim. Jim, do I have the right email for you? Email address?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And if there's a different email address that you guys want me to send things to, please just share with me. Roy doesn't like his emails going to Hilltop Alliance. He likes them going to his Gmail account. So that's why, you know, it's his Gmail account on here, though he's not attending today.
Kristen, I look back, we did approve the June minutes. We did not have a July meeting. I didn't see if we approved the August minutes or not.
We did not.
But I will make a motion to approve the August 2021 minutes.
Thank you, Matt. Would anyone like to follow up on that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, James. Let's take a vote. Do you guys want to raise your hands for yeses to approve?
Like I said, give us some buzz in a few months. And give us a report.
Quiba, did you have a chance to read them? So as of right now, everyone has voted to approve except Quiba. And we got a thumbs up from Quiba, so we are all good to go for our August minutes, unanimously approved. On to September.
Kristen, I'll make a motion to approve the September minutes.
Thank you, Matt. Follow up.
I can second it, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. Let's do raise hand or thumbs up to approve. We are unanimous again, 2 for 2 people, loving it. Now we are on to October, which would mean that we would be all up to date. And I'm just reading them now too, so bear with me if I stick out my tongue.
I was marked present, but I was absent.
You were on a nice little vacay, if I remember.
Sure was.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Oh,
Good
wonderful.
morning.
I'm so sorry. My mic was messed up and now it's fixed. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone.
No worries and thank you. Right. So let's talk about those October minutes.
I have some correction, at least on the where my name is mentioned with Derek Doffin. The second sentence there. Michael Kelly, aren't you on the data subcommittee? Shouldn't that be your name and not mine?
Yes, but Derek Doffin isn't the other person on the shade or data committee. That's Jeff.
So can we change those minutes to Michael Kelly and Jeff Bergman instead of Matt Erb and Derek Doffin?
So I don't know if anybody actually read the transcription minutes, but it's very entertaining how some things are translated. All right, with Matt's changes, will anybody vote to accept with Matt's changes?
I actually have a question. Matt, is that information for the 100,000 trees, not the tree keeper stuff that you're working on with Derek Doffin? Okay,
No.
never mind that.
I'd make a motion to approve with the changes indicated.
Thank you, Brian. Do we have a second? And then we can do hands and thumbs up still. If anybody wants to second that. Matt, are you seconding? Okay.
I mean, I can second it, but I wasn't there.
I'll second it
All right. Thank you for seconding James Stitt. Raising hands and thumbs up if we vote for yay with the amendments. See lots of hands and thumbs up. Thank you, Barry. See lots of thumbs up and hands up. Jim, Barry, you,
I wasn't here, to be honest,
You-
so I don't really have
you're
much to say
abstaining.
on that one.
so you're abstaining. Perfect.
Correct.
All right, awesome. So we got through. Oh, I just heard on the radio that one of my machines is broken. I'm gonna excuse myself for a second, and we are going to move on to the next item on the agenda. And you guys don't need to hear me. So we don't have anybody here for public comment, and we appreciate our guests coming from the city. Thanks, guys. So now we are on to reports. Since Michael Kelly, you're sitting in for Lisa today, would you care to start? And then I'm going to mute myself.
Sure thing.
Thank
All right, I think probably the biggest item and the most exciting item is that we finally had our frosts and are able to work on oak trees. So the city has begun our oak prunes. And we've also got all of the outstanding contracts with Davey for oak trees that are being pruned right now. Updates for just general forestry. The holiday tree has been installed and the lighting will be this Saturday for anyone who's interested in attending. You can find information to that online. We are just now waiting on our pruning contract approvals. We put that out to bid recently, and so soon we'll have everything we need in place for tree planting and maintenance contracts and restorations. And this last week, we set up our first City of Pittsburgh wildlife habitat tree in Frick Park. It's a new program that we've got out there where we're taking large standing dead trees that have a diameter sufficient for cavity nesting species. And instead of taking them back to the ground and grinding out the stumps, if the tree is stable, we're taking it back to just a few perch branches and leaving the logs still standing with signage on it so that people understand that it's, a natural resource and a educational resource for community members, as well as providing habitat. Lisa is currently representing us at the Partners Conference, so that's a real quick note there. And I will wrap up with our utility update with some of the work we have for PWSA. Any of you who live on the south side will have noticed that 51 has been kind of blocked up for sewer repair. All of the trees on that location have either been protected or removed as is appropriate, and they'll be replanted and restored with adequate tree protection and bringing that area back up to its previous conditions or better. There'll actually be about 9 more trees than were there previously. And on Thomas and McPherson Boulevard, we've created a tree protected storage area for their materials for the next season. So everything there is being moved out and sites are being restored. They're on paving this week. And on Kentucky Avenue, they have finished up all the tree work and they're in restoration as we speak. That is all. We're also working on, in the background, a map for fruiting and nut-bearing tree species across the city for anyone who's interested in urban foraging or community food security work.
Looks like the next agenda, or I guess Tree Pittsburgh report is next. Just to help Kristen out here.
Yeah, I'll happily give a quick update. We are kind of wrapping up our tree planting season. We had a pretty busy season. Thanks to Duquesne Light, we had great support there from Duquesne Light and the Pirates to do a number of tree plantings throughout the city. Our One Tree Per Child program was extensive, working with school kids to plant trees through the city and the county. Our relief programs in Manchester, Hazelwood, and Lawrenceville all had very successful tree plantings to help grow the canopy in those areas. We have an upcoming tree tender course here in December, virtual course. So if you're interested in that, please check our website. We're just getting ready for winter pruning season. Michael Kelly mentioned the oaks are finally safe to prune. So we'll be out there pruning oaks and elms a little bit. And we have a holiday party coming up in December. If you're on our email list, you should have gotten an invitation to that already, but I believe it's December 9th, where we acknowledge our volunteers of the year and just celebrate the successes of our tree planting and other efforts for the year. And that's kind of the basic update from Tree Pittsburgh. Thank you.
I guess in terms of department announcements, so in city planning, I guess we've worked in the Hazelwood Greenway. So Matt and Land Force and Tree Pittsburgh, what was that, 2 weeks ago, planted 170 restoration trees in that area. So we're closing out that project and then we'll start launching. We have another $430,000 grant to expand into other greenways too. And then I don't remember if I ever talked about this because I wasn't here last time, but we worked with Google on an environmental insights explorer. So they have like a tree canopy mapping product that's like specific to Pittsburgh that's now on SNR's website, Sustainability and Resilience's website. So if anybody wanted to check that out, I would drop it in the chat, but we don't have a chat. But that's all I have.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much for directing this the past couple of minutes. You're awesome. All you guys are. Was there anybody else from?
Was Rebecca going to put that in the chat? Did you say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, but we
The
disabled the
website?
chat.
We don't have a chat.
Yeah, we took away
Oh.
the chat a long time ago when some guest was having private conversations with our members during the chat. And even though, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, if you think your conversation in Zoom is private, it's not. So even though you're having a private chat, I will see it at the end.
That is so true because the owner of the account can go back and see even your private chats.
No, I did not know that.
Yes, yes, yes. I found that out. I don't know when I found that out, maybe a year or so ago. And I was like, oh, wow. But yes.
So what was the website then, Rebecca?
It's on the city's sustainability and resilience website. So like if you go to city planning, I think you can just Google environmental insights explorer Pittsburgh and you should be able to come up with the city's website.
Do we know who is actually like going back and putting in the species data? Or is there no species data associated with
It's not that detailed. It's a Google tool.
Okay.
They're gonna continue, I think, working on it and improving it, but it was a tool that they asked us if we wanted to pilot, so it's got Pittsburgh specific data on it.
And we are working at some point on getting them to add the neighborhood shapes to it, because right now it's all sorted by zip code, which no one uses zip codes.
There's some other functionality too, and a couple other maps that we work with them on like solar ability or transportation emissions, I think is a new one they're putting out.
Yeah, I know it's a big technology that's being pushed right now, and I know they're focusing a lot on our industry, right? As far as we'll say just-in-time pruning, which we all know is obviously not the best thing to do, but I think there's a lot of items being sold out there that we don't have a lot of good data on, put it that way. So I think that it's there, right? It's tool in the toolbox, as we all know, is integrated managers, but I think need to make sure we're using it for the right things. I was curious to see what they're actually pushing out. So you're saying it's on the, not S&T. I got a bank that came up for that. You said it's SNR?
Let me, I'll send it in an email.
Yeah, we
That
send
works.
it
How
in,
better?
Rebecca.
will you send it in the group email, Rebecca? That would be
Yep.
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, it looks like the Google site itself is insights.sustainability.google. And then you could type in Pittsburgh for the city at that site, but the specific link to Pittsburgh's got a bunch of letters and numbers.
I'll send it.
Thank you.
Oh, one more point on that. Allie was our intern over the summer, so she helped us with this and put the write-up on the website. But yesterday, the same program contacted me with another intern. They're really interested in the equitable street tree investment plan and working on that. So we have an opportunity for a spring intern if we're interested. I could put her on other projects too, but if there was interest to have another intern, this one's good at mapping.
You can safely assume that Lisa will be interested in that.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Thank you, Rebecca and Michael Kelly and Matt and the gang, Jim, all you guys. Was there anyone else that wanted to add any information under reports? Moving into canopy impacts. It looks like nobody wants to talk about any canopy impacts. So we will go on to the Shade Tree Trust Fund update, which no one is here to update us on that. So we will move into old business, which was originally all of our outstanding minutes that we hadn't voted on that we took care of at the beginning of this. So does anybody else have anything they would like to add under old minutes? Or old business? So then,
I have a question about
Go
old
ahead,
business
Jim.
since I wasn't here. Yep. So I think Alicia did a lot of things while she was here, as far as we'll say like the trust fund and things. Has that transitioned to anybody since? No, okay. And what is our plan as the commission to start turning some of this stuff over? Do we have one?
so we don't, and I think that since Alicia retired from the commission, you know, that hole has been filled, but as you know, we also have a new mayor. So I don't know if the thought process is waiting for that new mayor and his team to start before onboarding. And with Lisa not being here today either, that's something that I definitely cannot answer. I don't know if anybody from the city has any insight regarding any of the past things that we've been trying to implement. Because I remember correctly, we were supposed to, in September, have the equitable tree investment strategy was supposed to be unleashed during some week, but that obviously, you know, did not happen. So I have no knowledge on staffing for that position, on having a new person come from the mayor's office. I would assume we should reach out to our new mayor and see if, you know, he would like to have a meeting or has any time for a meeting once he actually takes office. You know, I have never been a part of anything along this. So this is definitely a new experience for me, and I'm not one to pretend that they know something when they don't.
So what will we be meeting with Ed about?
Well, I think, you know,
Onboarding with the work.
onboarding him, introducing ourselves, speaking to him about the, you know, tree equity plan that
Mhm.
has been released but not implemented, or you know, have Lisa and I think Quiba and Roy, you guys were all working together on.
Right, but I missed the meeting for that because of illness. I have to catch up.
You didn't miss
And-
anything, I promise, because there has
Okay,
not been.
So, and I really,
anything-
you know, I've been really swamped with work and I can catch up, but moving forward, I can put us for, it would be Jamie, Roy, Lisa, Kristen. I can put an email out to his chief of staff and set up a meeting where we like to do that in the new year.
I would love that. I think that would be outstanding.
If it's okay with everyone.
What do you guys think? I mean, welcoming and inviting our new mayor so that we can help him and he can help us sounds like the way to go.
Yes, I mean, well, it's up to you guys. I'm gonna stay out of it. Yeah, I can reach out to Mr. Melvin.
I'm in for it,
Okay.
you know, and if you wouldn't even mind, keep all of the commissioners on
On
that
the email,
email.
I will.
That would be
Okay.
lovely.
I'm gonna
Thank you
just
so
call
much.
him and give him a heads up first and then send the email out. For
That
the
would
new
be
year, right?
fantastic.
Sometime
Mhm.
in, do we wanna wait until, what, like February,
I'm,
or January? What do we wanna do? We wanna set up a meeting for January or February?
I think we give him the option, and,
Okay.
you know, I can only imagine how busy
Mhm.
everybody is, you know, with the changing and preparations. So, you know, I think it would be best to give them the option. And since we're doing everything on Zoom, weather shouldn't get in the way of it.
Right. Okay, that works for me.
So
Who's that?
when is his first day as the new mayor?
I don't know.
I think
I'm
it's
assuming.
January 20th.
Right,
Okay.
there you go, the end of January.
Along those lines. So I think we probably want to, you know, be
Some-
prepared when
February-ish.
we go talk to the mayor and maybe
Excuse
we
me.
have a few slides put together right in here, similar to what we've done in the past, right?
That's a good
When
idea,
we
Jim.
talk to Mayor Peduto and Mayor Gainey, I would assume would prefer the same thing, which is here are our goals, right? Here's our current funding level. I would think similar to what we would do for any type of leadership
I think
engagement.
that's a great suggestion. Thank you for bringing that up. And yeah, I think that we could put that on for our February meeting, that we would like to have him be present if it's possible. And if he chooses a different date that is not, you know, during our Thursday meeting, then we can, of course, you know, send it out to everybody and who is present and wants to be a part of it can. I know we don't have our December meeting, and I know every day is a busy day for everybody, but you know, a good segue into that is maybe we change the amount of meetings we have. And, you know, this is just something that we've been talking about loosely. You know, tree people are usually planting trees in November and planting trees during April. So maybe we can vote on changing our schedule so that instead of 10 meetings a year, we have 8 meetings a year. And those meetings would be more meaningful with more people actually present. And it wouldn't just be a waste of time of everybody else as I go down the agenda to the crickets.
I agree, I'll do it. Thank you.
Kristen, I would-
Just a question on that, is there anything in our charter with the ordinance that established the shade tree that says how many meetings we're supposed to?
I think it's only 4.
Okay,
So yeah, I mean, obviously Lisa's not here today. And I'm just just throwing stuff out there to see where it lands. But I think that that would be a great thing to talk about. Go on, Matt.
I would suggest we table that until we know the new administration's agenda. You know, he could potentially throw more funding or more tasks at the commission, and that could give the commission more work. You know, I think the current administration has kind of put us in this slow moving situation, but that could easily change next year.
I agree with you also.
I just want to add, the mayor's term turns over January 3rd.
Okay.
Okay. So,
I'm sure you noticed I did not put a meeting schedule, on our, November agenda. But, as we go now, the third Thursday of January is January 20th. So I, will send out a thing, but we can put all of us, and Lisa can work for that January 20th meeting and actually get some of those slides together so that we could present them to our new mayor and talk about at that January meeting. We can also talk about changing our schedule so that not changing the days, but the frequency, so that it's more meaningful and people aren't, not paying attention or just not able to do it. James, did you have something to say? No, everybody good? All right. And then, I know everybody's busy, but do you guys want to set up like separate times where we can actually chat on the telephone, chat via Zoom individually? Or, in small little like group meetings to get this stuff accomplished. And I'm used to hearing the crickets. So if it's easier to respond in an email form, if you're bashful and don't want to hit reply all, you can just keep it, on a one-on-one. I really would like everyone to be engaged, and for people to feel like they're doing meaningful work and that they're not, having their time wasted. So trying to, and being a part of something, So however we have to go forward with that as a mission or vision, I would really like to do. And I know we have a bunch of new folks and old folks, so.
Kristen, I think you're on a good track there with that thought process, and
Thanks, James.
I think the tool for that is certainly the subcommittee format. That if we can formalize that a little bit more and make sure that everybody's participating in one of the subcommittees so that they can be engaged at that level, and then use that as the tool to gather people sort of on those off weeks when we're not in a regular meeting or something like that, so that the work does get done.
James, I'm sorry, you kept trailing off. I don't know.
Sorry, I might be a little far away from my
was able to
mic.
hear. Okay.
Yeah, I just suggesting that to implement that higher level of engagement on a smaller group level, just to use the tool of the subcommittees and really formalize that to the point where everyone has an assignment, everybody has some sort of marching orders and knows what is required of them and what's expected, and is doing something that they're interested in.
Was everyone able to hear what James had to say or grasp what he was getting at? And Matt, I saw you raised your hand, young man.
No, I couldn't. His voice has faded.
Yeah, James, you keep falling off.
I guess what's the
But-
short version was, making sure we set up committees more formally.
Okay. Okay, so it sounds like then, while I have you guys here and we are talking, would there like to be a subcommittee for onboarding our new mayor? And Matt, don't worry, I will get back to you in 20 seconds. Before we, go further and vote on something like that, we'll let Matt share. Go on, Matt.
Yeah, I was really just going to point out the same thing James did, that subcommittees are the way to go. I appreciate the formality of that kind of process and the inclusivity of that kind of process. So that's what I would be most in favor for. And I will volunteer to be on the onboarding subcommittee.
Thank you, Matt. Who else wants to be on the onboarding subcommittee? James, awesome. Hands, people, voices, thumbs, however you want to do it.
Does that entail, Kristen? Just like pulling together information?
Yes, I think pulling together information, talking to each other. Thank you, Quiba. Thank you, Jamie. Getting the format together, making sure that, the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, so that when we do get the opportunity that we're completing all of those things that we should.
Okay. I'm happy to help too, if needed.
Yeah.
And Rebecca, this is great. Thank you, guys. So as of right now, I have written down Matt, Quiba, Jamie, Andrea, and Rebecca. Is there anybody else that's interested in being a part of this subcommittee? And then I'm going to ask who wants to be the chair. All right, so those are our people that are going to be on our mayor onboarding subcommittee. And would anyone care to raise their hand? Derek, it was Matt, Quiba, Jamie,
James.
I'm sorry. You were like the second person to raise their hand. James and Jamie, Andrea and Rebecca. And I don't want to disclude Roy from it, though he wasn't here today, or Lisa. So obviously after the meeting can send them an email with everybody and ask them if they wanted to be a part of it also. And I know it's hard to get that many people together, but you don't all have to be there at the same time either. So, if there's 8 people on it and only 3 people can get together to talk at one time, great. And then if only 5 people can get together the next time, great. Still nobody raising their hand to chair this puppy? I don't think I'm allowed to assign it. So, having somebody that wants to take the minutes or send out the information would be ideal. I also know that everybody is very busy, so I understand that. But if we don't have somebody to chair it, it makes it a lot more difficult. Am I allowed to chair things? I mean, I didn't even raise my hand to be on it, but I can also be on it, and I can be the person that takes the minutes during the meetings and sends out, that
Nominate Kristen to chair it.
That was good, Quiba. Thank you. All right, Derek, it sounds like I am on it, and I will be chairing it unless Roy isn't here. If one of the folks that aren't here decides that they want to do that, then I will happily, give those reins over. But as of right now, I will be wearing that hat. Thank you, guys. Jim Barry, were you on it too? I can't remember.
was
like
not.
2 minutes ago. Okay.
I would, I think we should probably keep the same format,
Mhm.
similar to our meet and greet with Mayor Peduto used to be, right?
Mhm.
So if you'd like, add me on there, Derek, that's fine.
Thanks, guys. This is going to be exciting. All right. This has been a nice conversation. Do we want to continue? Giselle?
Hi, hi everyone. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to take a quick second to present myself. I'm newly in the Department of Public Works. I'm working as a community programming coordinator, but I used to work at the Office of Community Affairs. It seems in my new position that I'll be coming a bit more frequently to these meetings. I don't know in what parameters. We're still kind of figuring out those details. However, I wanted to take some time, introduce myself to the group, and hopefully get on that email list to kind of learn more about it and see how I can help in whatever way I can.
Giselle, thank you so much. My apologies for not introducing you at the beginning and taking the time for all of us to introduce ourselves to you. So when you're all done, we can do a quick little, round robin where we share who we are with you. Does that sound good?
What's your last name?
Betances, Betances.
And would you mind sharing your email too, just so I can write it down?
Yes. Okay. Here. Can I rename myself here? Okay, I was not. It's really a shame that we don't have our chat. So Giselle, Gisele Betances, B as in boy, E as in Edward, T as in Thomas, ANCES at pittsburghpa.gov.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name takes a bit of spelling.
I would have not been able to guess that. And I'm sure you have to phonetically do it constantly for everybody. So thank you.
No worries.
And welcome.
Thank you.
How long were you with the city in that?
As in the Office of Community Affairs. So my first day was the first day that everybody got sent home for the pandemic. So it was like a year and a half.
Wow.
I just started my new position this November, so it's all very new. So forgive me if I'm still not 100% caught up on everything, but I'll try to learn as fast as I can.
Hey, me too. I'm trying to learn as fast as I can. And appreciate
We all
it.
are.
Yeah, exactly. We are all learning constantly. So thank you. I really appreciate you coming today and introducing yourself and being a part of our commission and meetings going forward. So Michael Kelly, who is not an official Shade Tree Commissioner, but he's official to us. I'll have him go first, especially since I know he started his job in the middle of the pandemic, and I can only imagine what kind of a challenge that was on top of everything else. So Michael Kelly, would you care to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm the utility coordination arborist at the City Forestry Division. I work with Lisa on projects mostly relating to utilities, GIS work, and on our street tree, our equitable street tree investment program.
Thank you, Michael. And let's stay with the city. Andrea, would you care to introduce yourself if you don't already know?
We've met, but I'll reintroduce myself. Hi, Giselle. I'm Andrea Ketzon, the landscape architect for DPW, and I work right down the hall from you when I'm in the office.
Thank you, Andrea. Rebecca, where you at?
We've also met, but I'm the city planning rep. I'm a resilience planner in sustainability and resilience. Hi, Giselle.
Thanks, Rebecca. Do we have, let's have Derek Buckner introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Derek Buckner. I work in city forestry. You can't see me right now because I don't have a camera, but I do the minutes here. I've been doing it for like the last 5 years or 6 years now. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Derek. Mike Panzita, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I don't know if you have your, you are there. Would you care to introduce
Yeah, I'm
yourself,
here.
young man? Thank you.
Hey, Giselle. I know Giselle as well. But yeah, I'm Mike Panzito from the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure. One of the project managers there. So things that have to do with the streets and the right of way. I'm just kind of the representative here for that group.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for coming today too, obviously. So did that satisfy everybody from the city? All right, awesome. Let's go over now to Quiba.
Hi, I'm not putting my camera on, forgive me. But hi, Giselle. I'm Raquib Jamula Sabaro. Most people call me Quiba, and I'm Shade Tree Commissioner, and I am the founder and executive director of the Black Urban Gardeners and Farmers of Pittsburgh Co-op. It's nice to meet you.
Wonderful to meet you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jamie, where are you at? Jamie, care to introduce yourself? Are you able to?
You're saying James?
I was saying Jamie.
I'm
Oh.
You
here.
have quite a few
Oh,
names
there
that are
she is.
similar in here.
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Giselle. My name's Jamie Holloway, and I am a community representative on the Shade Tree Commission. So it's great to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
Thanks, Jamie. Let's go into James.
Hey, Giselle, good morning. I'm James Stitt. I'm the Sustainability Manager for the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority, as well as representative of Northside Neighborhoods. Welcome aboard. And with that, I'm going to have to jump at 10 o'clock, just so if there's anything else we need from me, you can get it. Thanks.
Sorry, I didn't catch that last part, but I believe you're a representative from PWSA?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, wonderful to meet you.
Thanks, you guys. And from James, let's go to Jim.
Good morning, Giselle. Jim Barry, Senior Manager at Duquesne Light Company. Been here and representing for the last, I don't know how many years, maybe 4 or 5 at this point. So welcome. Happy to have a new face as always. So
Thank you, Jim. Nazine.
Hi, Giselle. This is Nazine Najad with URA of Pittsburgh. I'm an architect working on different projects in the city. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Matt Erb.
Hey, good morning. Matt Erb, I'm with the nonprofit Tree Pittsburgh. And I think this is my 12th year on the Shade Tree Commission, so I feel like a dinosaur here.
You're just vintage. You're just a vintage expensive wine or whiskey.
Yes, yes, I love that.
And I believe our final person that I did not get to, which could never be excluded, is Brian Waliniak.
I'm Brian Waliniak. I'm with Penn State Extension, educator in urban and community forestry. And based in Allegheny County here and serve all of southwestern Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
Thanks,
it was
Brian.
really nice to meet you.
I'll be right back.
Thanks, Quiba. And Giselle, my name's Kristen. I formerly was at Chatham University Arboretum for 10 years, and now I'm at Duquesne University. I'm super excited to be here and have been on the chair or been on the commission, I think for about 4 years now with Andrea. We had our onboarding stuff together and was elected as chair last year and have been bumbling along ever since.
It's wonderful. It's really nice to meet you.
thank you. We are looking forward to you attending meetings in the future and working together. So we're still under new business. Did anybody else have anything that they would like to discuss, bring up, share? So I know I'm a cheesy person and I really like to celebrate when people I know have wonderful things happen to them. So anytime I find out something about one of you guys, I will always email you separately to make sure you don't mind me bragging about you. But it is always exciting to hear when people are, you know, doing stuff in our neighborhoods that gain some kind of, you know, newsworthy stuff. So if I don't know because we're not connected on LinkedIn or I wasn't stalking you for some reason, and you would like me to share something amazing and wonderful that you are involved with, please just shoot me an email, text, call me, whatever, and I will be more than happy to brag about you to everybody else so you don't have to do it yourself. And if we don't have anything else that anyone wants to discuss or bring up, then we can look for this meeting to be adjourned.
So who are you going to brag about?
Well, so first, you know, I have this new email, which is attached to my maiden name. So I'll be getting another new email like any day, which will be returning to my married name that you guys know me as with the Spurl. So, you know, if check your trash or something, or if you get something from me, I usually put the headings PSTC, but you know, there'll be another new email address coming from me. So you're welcome. But yeah.
You built that up, Kristen, like you saw something on LinkedIn and like something major was coming out.
You know,
congratulations on I guess, or maybe not, but you know, hey.
Well, hey, you know, Jim Barry, I know that you just had like a 12-year work anniversary or something. And, you know, that's a minor thing to you know, bring up at a meeting. But Quibo was honored last week for the, oh, I'm gonna butcher this, but Quiba was just honored and gave a talk last week. I sent out to the link to everybody, and she starts her actual feature is like 26 minutes and 25 seconds into it. But you know, when Andrea had finished Wilkins Street Park and Squirrel Hill, I'm sorry, I can't, Whiteman Park, you know, there was a nice write up in the paper. And, you know, Jim Barry, you should be happy that I didn't send everybody the picture I had of you on the news a few weeks ago when Duquesne Light was doing a tree. Oh, I'll send it to you separately because I took a screenshot of my television one morning when they were interviewing you. Matt, Rebecca, I always see you all over LinkedIn. And I know Matt, I don't think you're on LinkedIn, but last week you guys did like a tree planting in Hazelwood or did a cleanup or something. So Tiffany had posted on her LinkedIn how helpful it was, you know, being with you guys, and thanks. So, you know, stuff like that. Stuff like that. Cause yeah, I know Matt Herb, you're not on it, but I like to give people, you know, a gold star, silver star, whatever color they want whenever I can, because it's always nice to, you know, have it brought up where you don't have to be bragging about yourself. So that's it.
On a related note, did you change jobs, Kristen?
I did. I left Chatham and started at Duquesne October 4th. It's like a 15-minute commute to my house. Awesome. And the capacity is a big improvement coming from, you know, 60, 70 acres with 4 people to 50 acres with 10 people is really nice. Some of those people are even sitting in here right now. And it's been different because I feel like most of the people that are on this right now have all been at their jobs for multiple years, minus you, Mike, Kelly, and Giselle. But going from somewhere where you've been for 10 years and then a few years as a student and coming into somewhere new is exciting and challenging and stressful, but it's been really great. The team here has been outstanding and not being jerks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Anybody else want to chat or anything? Add stuff? All right, cool beans. Anybody want, Matt?
I'll
hit
make a
me.
motion to adjourn.
Matt's saying we're adjourning. Everybody feel good about saying goodbye until we meet again? And again, reply all or reply just to me. I don't care, whatever you feel most comfortable with doing. If you feel comfortable having group Zoom meetings, we can do that. If you want to do things on a one-on-one telephone, kind of thing, that's easy too. Just shoot me an email and we will go forward from there. So Matt has not motioned to adjourn, but we can, I guess, say our goodbyes now. And everybody, please put it on your calendar for January 20th to be our next meeting. I'll send out the transcribed minutes too, if you want to be entertained. And, Derek will send out the updated meeting minutes, and I will send out an email to everybody so we can figure out some times to get together regarding the subcommittee for onboarding our new mayor. Sound good?
Ouch. Good. Second, Matt's, and I think like happy holidays to everybody is in order, right?
Yes, thank you. Yes, happy holidays.
Holidays.
No snow, no problems. And I hope everyone has a lovely holiday next week. And hey, Jim, if you have a minute, can I call you on the phone later, like in a couple of minutes?
As well, Hank, that's fine.
Thank
Kristen.
you. And if anybody else wants to talk to me, let me know.
I have a meeting at or whatever, 10:30, I guess. Yeah.
All
So
right, I'll email you so you can give me your phone number. I'm sure you don't want it to go across the city's channel soon. So
half the city has it anyhow, I'm sure. But thanks, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
See everyone. Happy
Bye.
holidays.